Hello, and welcome to How to Make Your Landscape a Refuge for Winter Birds. I'm Lexi from Sagmarine Native Plant Community, and I'm here with Kathy.
Hi, everyone.
We're really excited to talk about birds this evening and a little bit about what we can do to make our landscapes more hospitable in welcoming them, and so we can see their beautiful, cute little faces when there's not much else going on outside. Nothing is more cheerful than an early spring robin singing sweetly in your yard. Look at this little robin eating a juniper berry. There's still snow on the branches, but that's a great sign of life, and hearing them chirping just makes us feel alive. Birds seeking food and shelter in our yard on a cold winter day are a welcome sight that makes the landscape seem a little less cold and barren.
Isn't it just like a wonderful day when when you see and hear your first robin in the yard or your first red-winged blackbird in the yard? You know, when you start to hear those winter birds start to actually chirp because they're kind of quiet in the winter. I mean, it's just like, and then all the garden season is ahead of you. You know?
The friends
But
are back.
the birds are here. But I just love birds. Our sweet feathered friends never fail to bring cheer to our lives. They're just they're just so awesome and so cheerful and so sweet. But because of I mean we try at Sagmarine to encourage people to like bees more and to kind of do some PR for bees because they've got unjustly kind of a bad name due to yellow jacket wasps and so forth. But we also try to raise awareness of the importance of our birds. And that's a little bit easier to get people to embrace birds because what's not to like? But also because they're so cute and cheerful, we forget how vitally important they are to the health of our environment, and they're vitally important just for our very survival as a species. Birds are essential, absolutely essential to our ecosystem. They keep destructive agricultural and forest insects in check. Birds help to pollinate flowering plants across the globe. Birds supply waste removal services that prevent disease. Birds spread seed and bring plants back to destroyed ecosystems. Birds help sustain forests, marshes, grasslands, and prairies. By doing this, they help store carbon and keep our climate stable. I mean, birds really are, they are the sowers and tenders of our natural lands. And those natural lands are what are creating the plants that are responsible for the quality of our air, the quality of our water, our weather. So they are just vitally important and a powerhouse of our ecosystem.
Unfortunately, our birds are disappearing at an alarming rate. It is estimated that we have lost nearly 3 billion birds in the last 3 decades. So, like so many things that are in decline, or insects, I heard about our frogs this week are in decline. Birds are also on that list. So, we need to do whatever we can in our landscapes and things that are in our control to help them. And what's causing this decline? So, loss of habitat and food for both the young and adult birds, lack of cover and shelter in winter, window strikes, which are really unfortunate, and outdoor cats. They all are contributing to the decline of these magnificent creatures.
The good news is that we can help this problem. We can, by doing our part, we can turn around this trend of decline of our amazing birds declining. So what can we do to attract birds to our yard and help those birds, and especially in the winter, to help those winter birds in our own yards? And there's a lot that we can easily do. First of all, we have to go back to the childhood of those birds. A healthy fed baby bird is going to be a healthier adult bird that is going to be better able to sustain a harsh winter environment. So we want to plant good, nutritious native plants that host the caterpillars of many butterflies and moths. Those caterpillars are the most important food source for young nesting birds. Again, most birds as adults feed on seed, berries, but all birds as babies, just about all birds. There's a couple species that actually the mother bird or the parent birds actually regurgitate food into their mouth like doves. But for the most, and there is a better name for it than regurgitate, but that's what you get tonight. But they but most of them uh are eating insects as babies. Even if they become seed and fruit eaters later, they're eating insects as babies. They need that protein in insects to grow. And the most important insect or the quote unquote insect that is the most nutritious for our baby birds is caterpillars. The young caterpillars that are the larvae of butterflies and moths. And remember, most of our caterpillars have only certain species of native plants on which they can um, feed. So we have to get those native plants in our yards if there's going to be caterpillars in our yards that are going to give good powerhouse nutrition to the young birds so that they have good, strong immune systems and are able to survive harsh winters. If you're looking for some ideas on good plants to put in your spring and summer and fall garden that are host to these caterpillars that are so important to our birds, check out our YouTube video entitled Beautiful and Native Plants for Birds.
So the next thing that we can do to help the birds in our landscape is to plant native grasses and shrubs. They provide food, shelter, and nesting sites for the birds. And here we can see side oats grama, which is a beautiful grass, and the birds like to nest in the base of these grasses, and they also feed on the seeds. And in addition, they provide a magnificent structure to our landscape. So not only are they gorgeous and beautiful to look at, but they're providing all of these amazing benefits for our birds. We're going to outline a couple of native grasses and shrubs that are great for birds that you can use in your landscape. The first one being little blue stem, just a beautiful, beautiful grass. Prairie dropseed, switchgrass. Shrubby St. John's wort, which is a lower mounding shrub. Pagoda dogwood. This is a little bit of a bigger shrub with a beautiful arching form. American hazelnut. Our birds love nuts. A lot of them do, not all of them, but some of them just love these nuts. Choke cherry, gorgeous, gorgeous flower structure on the choke cherry. Meadow rose, Rosa blonda, beautiful rose, and black haw viburnum.
And some more, and remember, all of these provide shelter, cover in the winter, nesting sites, food in the form of seed and or berries and or nuts. I mean, these are just basically giving birds pretty much everything they need to survive. American witch hazel, common ninebark, bush honeysuckle, staghorn sumac, black chokeberry, American elderberry, buttonbush, red osier dogwood, nannyberry, and Allegheny serviceberry. And the next presentation that we are going to be doing next week is going to be a deeper dive into these various shrubs. Watch for it on our YouTube channel. It'll be called Plant These Native Shrubs to Help Our Disappearing Birds. And we'll be talking more about the specifics of what these different shrubs look like, what their growth habits are, what conditions they like, and what benefits they bring to sustain our beautiful birds.
So another thing that we can do in our landscape to help the birds is to leave the seed heads on our flowers. So any of our forbs that have dried up, all the leaves have fallen away for the winter, just leave them in the landscape. And if you want to, you can cut them back in April. But we think that they're pretty gorgeous. Even in the snow and the ice, you can see these beautiful crystals on Echinacea, and just look how spectacular that looks. So these will provide highly nutritious winter food for the birds. And you don't even need a bird feeder. If you've got these native plants just left out in your landscape, they will find everything they need. And sometimes, something that just looks like a stalk and there's nothing on it, there's actually food on there for the birds. So it's pretty amazing how resourceful they are.
Really, what looks like a spent flower to us is a banquet for birds.
What really surprised me the most was Joe Pye. It looked like there's nothing on there, but I saw some goldfinch, eating away at it, and it's so amazing to see what they'll do with a spent stalk and those branches and the seeds. That's what they're getting to. All right. And another thing that's super critically important is just to leave the leaves, remove them from your lawn, but let them stay in your flower beds all winter. There's beneficial insect larvae and pupa that overwinter in the leaf litter. Sometimes you can look on the back of the leaves and see some raised pupa on the back of the leaf, and just leave that there. These larvae provide great high protein food for the winter birds. They'll be searching through those leaves, getting all the little insects, and of course, more insects is that's great for everything. So just leave the leaves.
Leave the leaves. Another thing that we can do is limit the amount of light around your home. Sometimes things that we do and we think are helping the environment turn out in another way to be detrimental to the environment. And one of those things has been LED lights. The very bright LED lights that are in some of our street lights, that are in our cars. Everybody knows that when you drive at night, the lights are so much brighter and more glary. They're actually finding that the LED lights in street lights and headlights are causing more artificial light pollution and light glow, and all of that confuses birds, makes it difficult for them to navigate, makes it difficult for them to migrate, and makes them much more prone to strike windows. So the best thing we can do is to try to, number one, try to leave the lights off at night. But if you really like having a light on around your house, please shine it, have it be, motion detector is a great option because it's not shining all the time. It would only shine if something was moving back there. But try to have it be a light fixture that's only shining down and not shining up into the air at all. And keep your light bulbs more on the gold or amber tone. Stay away from those bright white, bright blue white lights that we have like in our street lights and in our headlights. You want to stick more with the golden amber color.
And you can even find on the big box stores now, they actually list light fixtures as dark sky, compatible or, authorized by dark sky. So just make sure as you're looking for light fixtures, that, it has that mark and indication.
And if you wonder, if you don't know what we're talking about with Dark Sky International, and a lot of cities in town have a local chapter of it too. This is an organization, a nonprofit that brings a lot of awareness to the problems of excess light pollution, the detriments to animals, insects, birds, and humans of all of the artificial light pollution we have. And they also give a lot of easy ways that we can help decrease the light pollution around our homes and cities. And you can find out a ton more information about specific wattages and lumens of bulbs that are best, and specific designs of light fixtures that work the best. And that website would be darksky.org. One word, darksky.org. So check that that website out if you want more information on artificial light pollution and how we can help control it around our homes. The next thing that we can do to help is if you have some windows that, you bring birds around your house, you're bringing them close to your windows, and we know that windows can be very deadly to birds. So one of the best things we can do, I mean, in my house, I have most of my windows, the birds never hit. I have two windows that if I'm gonna have a bird strike, it's always those two windows. So even if you have to even if you don't wanna put this, apply a film on your window to help prevent bird strikes, you may not have to do it, to all of your windows. Maybe you just have two or three problem windows that for some reason are really picking up the reflection of a tree or something about the lighting that for some reason these are the problem windows. I know that's the way it is at my house. And but this kind of film can do wonders to prevent birds from striking. Now, a lot of times you'll find decals, and the decals don't usually work because I don't know if they help a little bit, but really to work, what is it, Lexley? These little dots in this film need to be an inch and a half apart?
Yep, it's something like an inch and a half apart. And this example comes from our friends at Feather Friendly. And you have this white dot for windows that are reflective. And then if you have something that's see-through, like maybe a glass kind of freestanding fence or a glass backboard on a basketball hoop, then you would use the black dots. But they're really effective and they work.
If you had the decals, you would probably have to put them so close together that you would really pretty much block your view out the window, but these dots are much less conspicuous, so you can still so easily see out the window and really, really prevent those bird strikes. And as much as we love cats, we love all animals, this guy looks so cute, I just want to cuddle him right now, although the look on his face doesn't look like he wants to cuddle me, but whatever. Um, but please keep your cat inside. Cats are, you know, extreme predators of birds, and the cats are going to be much healthier and better off being inside. Believe me, their lives are going to be much longer if they are strictly an indoor cat. So I think the average lifespan of a cat that goes inside and outside is something like 3 years old, where it's 15 if it's strictly an indoor cat. So really, it'd be the best thing. Keep your cats indoors. It's the best thing for the birds, and it's the best thing for your cat.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of our presentation, and we just wanted to leave you with a quote. If you truly love nature, you will find beauty everywhere. And this comes from Van Gogh. And you'll find beauty in these simple things and in these simple things that we can do to protect nature. And, these creatures that give so much and rely on each other and rely on the plants and rely on so much within, the ecosystem, we can be part of that and help them to survive with some simple techniques.
A reminder to please like this video and subscribe to our channel. It really helps circulate our content. And with that, we want to thank you for watching this. Thank you for your interest in native plants, and we'll see you in our next one where we talk more about native shrubs for birds. Thank you.
See you next time.